Have you heard the news? It's getting lots of rave reviews. A good time is waiting just for you at Sister Spokesman.
This beautiful, outstanding sister that is such a friendly, beautiful face to come encounter with. Tell them all the other great things about you.
Wow, that's awesome. Hello everyone, I'm Miss Ella with Miss Ella Inspires. I am a personal life coach. I also help us to walk through our purpose. So how do we do that? Well, we need to be clear on what we want. So I help you to get clear and concise on what it is that you want to do. And then I help you to walk through the power of forgiveness. So sometimes we're in a place where unforgiveness lives inside of us, and we really need to get to another place where we can be on the other side of forgiveness and in unity and harmony with our life. So those are some of the things that I love to do. I love fashion. Of course, you can, if anyone that knows me, I'm like Miss Tracy. We love clothing. And I love spending time with my family. We have 16 grandchildren, and we love to spend time with each and every one of them. We show up. We're grandparents that really show up for our family. So as Miss Tracy was saying, maybe it's a part of us to connect with our family more. Maybe it's a part of us to connect with our daughters, or being a better daughter. Maybe it's that I need to work on forgiveness. So it doesn't have to be the traditional way that we work on our manifestation boards. I like to call them manifestation boards because that's exactly what you're doing. You're manifesting something that is your desire. It's just not a goal, it's a desire that's sitting in your heart. So whatever's in your heart, we need to bring that out. So we're going to focus on one thing, because all the gurus tell us that if you hone in on one thing, like this sister over here, all she does is yoni stuff. She's not teaching you clothing, fashion, she's honing in on the yoni. And the other sister over here, she's doing what? Body. Skincare. Skincare. So honing in on and mastering one particular thing at a time. And you can have as many boards as you want. That's the reason why I like the boards. I like that ideal. I'm going to show you this board here. Is it time, Miss Tracy? Should I just keep going? I'm going to just keep going. So this board, if you look at this board, what's one thing that comes to mind? I'm not offended if you say anything, but what comes to mind?
Destiny.
Destiny, okay, that's a nice way to say. It looks confusing. It's all over the place. We don't know where to start. There's no map to really show what's going on. It shows what, baby? It does show creativity. You're right about that. But creativity in an unorganized way. And that's one reason why I came up with the ideal, and I know it's all over, but we use a smaller approach to hone in on one thing. Now there's things on here. I created this in 2005. So some of the things have come to pass. They have manifested. When I think about my journey, and I think about my life when I left school in the 8th grade. It wasn't because I wanted to, it was because of a traumatic experience that I went through. And that experience led me away from school until I went back to get my GED when I was 30. So as I was sitting in the classroom one day, my then boyfriend must have taken some illicit things on his way to school that morning and was wanting me to jump school, but I wanted to stay in the classroom. And I liked Mr. Hauge. Mr. Hauge was a really nice teacher, and we had just started school. It was September. Fall was in the air. And he kept wanting me to come out. You remember the classrooms, excuse me, that had the glass window? And people that, the glass window on the door. And people, your friends, would tell you, come on out. And they would duck down when the teacher would turn around. Well, that's what kept happening. Excuse me. Obviously, I irritated him by not coming out. He swung that door open, came and grabbed me out of that connected chair to the desk, and began to drag me out of that classroom. And as the teacher came to my rescue, he punched him in the jaw, breaking his jaw in several places. I left school because I was embarrassed, I was ashamed. I didn't have anyone there to tell me that I could go on. So I chose to not go back to school. So I had all those years in between. And later on, he was my children's father. Because the one thing that he said to me when he got me in that hallway was, look what you made me do. And I gulped that down. So at 30, at the age of 30, I earned my GED.
Amen.
I went on and ended up working at the Union Gospel Mission, Naomi Family Residence, if anyone is familiar with that place. And I was there for 16 and a half years. I worked my way up from overnight receptionist / RoboCop to evening program assistant to administrative assistant to case manager to lead case manager to assistant director. He said, and my church is offering courses to people that can use their work history as credit. Okay? That's how I got my bachelor's degree.
Experience.
I'm going to set this here because I want you all to look at it. Don't play. We came here to do our work today. Okay? I'm serious about my manifestation boards because they add value to our life. So what I did, as things started happening in my life, and in 2008 I was diagnosed with lupus and Sjogren and fibromyalgia. And always had a history since I was 18 of high blood pressure. 18, just a baby, dealing with that kind of stuff. So I knew I needed to create a board centered around health. That's all, health, nothing else. How I was going to eat, how I was going to take care of myself, the things that I needed to do, I began to write it out. How many times would I need to work out? How many times if my body would allow me to work out? What kind of food would I need to consume? What type of doctor would I need to connect with? Who are the people that I would need to reach out to that could help me on this journey? It was a trying time for me and my family. Later on, as I was, working to do things and to make changes in my life, my health began to decline even more. Because the doctors didn't have a solution. Just medication, more medication, and more medication. And I became like a zombie. I had to quit work, I had to resign. In between there, I kept going. I changed how I ate. That was one of the main focus that I was going to not eat unclean any longer. And I'm still in that same space. And that's why I'm here today. Because I'm going to tell you something. In 2019, I thought it was over. I kid you not. And I remember my husband coming home from work for lunch, and he said, I don't know what you're going through. He said, but it's not time for you to go, and I'm going to pray with you.
Amen. Amen.
Because I didn't want to live in this shell no more and not be healthy. What could I do? I couldn't be engaged with my grandchildren. So what I'm saying to us today is, when we hone in on and focus and take action and have a plan of what we plan to do once we're here. That's important. Whatever you're creating today, you must believe it. That it's obtainable for you to have it. That's the important part of creating visualization boards. It's more than getting together and making some pictures, cutting them out, and having a couple sips of wine, and etc. It's about a plan for your life. And I take it to heart because it's something that I love to do, and it's helped me to redesign my life. I don't even know if the lupus or the Sjogren's or the fibromyalgia is still living in my body, but to me it ain't living in my body. I'm healthy, I'm well, I'm eating right, I do right, I live right, I'm kind, I'm good, I love others. Because that all goes together when you're living right.
Yep.
And when you're taking inspired action to treat your body better. I can't express that enough, to love on your body. I was just sharing with someone, I said, you know what? I love spending time with myself. I have fun. We have a good time together. We do. We laugh. I was giggling today while I was waiting on my husband to come back and get me. I was like, girl, you know you are a mess. What did you say? I can't even begin to tell you what I said, but I came up with some riddle, some song, but we just laughed about it. But I have a good time, but I remember when I didn't have a good time in my life. And that's why all these illnesses showed up one day in my life. See, there was purpose behind that, so that I could be here today. So I do offer programs and I offer courses. I am a soul purpose coach. That's really what I love to do. Get to our soul. Help us to walk in that purpose. The one thing that I understand by being a young woman that was adopted from birth is without a name, is that there's something about your name. Because when I went back and found my biological mother, that's another story too. But when I did locate her, she had no intentions on ever seeing me, because that's what she said. She said, that's why I never named you. But she didn't know who I was. Come on, 2 snaps and a pop-pop. She didn't know who I was. And that's real talk. So I asked her several questions. And one of the questions was, would you have named me Ella? Or Amanda, because that's my second name. And she said, no. I wouldn't have named you either one of those names. So I knew I was on the right path.
Okay.
I knew I was on the right path. So I asked her a couple other questions too. Who was my daddy? But what I'm getting at today is, I could not have become Miss Ella Inspires if I had stayed with her. You see the prophecy?
Yes.
You see the purpose?
Yes.
You see the plan and the purpose and the prophecy? I wouldn't have been Miss Ella. I'm Miss Ella Inspires today.
Yes, you are.
The prophecy over your life, you already have it inside of you. And most of us are already doing it. You're already living in your prophecy for your life. You just need another push, a gentle push. It don't even have to be anything forceful, something just gentle, with ease. That's the way I live life, with ease. Nothing forceful, because if you gotta force it, it don't even need to go, right? That's right. So the good thing about learning to do visualization and manifesting what it is that you really want is getting clear in why. Why do I want this? Who will benefit? What will I do with it? How will it make me feel? This is the truth. So this is one way that we can come together as a community here today. I'm so grateful that Miss Tracy asked me to come back again this year. It says a lot. How long has Sister Spokesman been going on?
18 years.
18 years. Older than this baby. 18 years.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you. This provides, what Miss Tracy has done, provided a space, a sacred space. A sacred space. There's something about sacred spaces. There's something about sacred spaces. Turn to your sister and say, there's something about sacred spaces.
Sacred spaces.
Where you can connect, where you can bond together, where feelings can be shared. Because it's about feelings. Am I right, sis? It's about feelings. Y'all know I just love walking around. I just really want to touch somebody too, because like all that energy, you know? You just want to be a blessing to other people. You want to be a blessing. That's what I'm saying.
So as Callie said, so the MSR, it's the oldest African American newspaper in the state of Minnesota, and we are approaching 90 years in August. So thank you. And so it's a family-owned business. My grandfather, Cecil Newman, started it in 1934. My grandmother took it over after he passed. And then before she passed the business on to me. I got another 10 years, y'all. Y'all gotta help me get there. I got 10 more years, and I'm giving it to my daughter and my grandkids, and I'm gonna go off into the sunset. But before I do that, I'm gonna be here to make sure that I give you the news and information that you're looking for. So anytime you have ideas or stories that you want us to tell, we're here for that. We just need to hear from you. If you have a desire to write, and you wanna know how to get involved with my paper, all you gotta do is call us. We're looking for people that are interested in writing. We're looking for story ideas. We're looking how we can celebrate your wins. We also do put obits in for people that have lost someone. So we're a full service newspaper, but we also have a podcast that we just started. I have a show on our podcast called Tracy's Keeping It Real. Check me out. We got to get the information to you on how to find us. And I think,
YouTube.
Right.
YouTube.
It's YouTube, so you can go on YouTube and find us. So we just started. So we have 2 shows on there right now, or one? Just one? And so we're just getting started, so follow me on YouTube as Tracy Keeps It Real. But we have a whole bunch of other news segments that we're going to be doing on our podcast. And so if you got story ideas that you want us to talk about on either my show or one of the other ones, we're talking about health, travel, sports, entertainment, breaking news, national news. What am I missing, Larry?
What else are we missing? Everything the paper covers, business, health,
education. Yeah, so we got all them different show lineups coming at you. So we're trying to make sure that anything that the African American community needs to know, wants to know, should know, that we're covering all of that. So, and we're giving it to you digitally. We also do have the original print, which is right over there. So go check us out with the paper. But you can also find us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. We are celebrating 90 years and we don't want to miss out on an opportunity to let you know about it.
Says the spokesman.